Hey everybody and welcome. I am Candace and I'm going to be going live today with my friend Jennifer and my business partner, and we're going to be talking about I've been seeing a lot talking about other people copying or did you copy this? Where did you copy this from, right? And it's really not about copying anything from anyone. If you're trying to be, hey, honey, if you're trying to be relatable to people, right, you want to look for content that people are related, like that makes them feel seen. So can you hear me well? Because I'm using a lapel mic today. Jen, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm wearing a lapel mic. Charlie said I move around too much, so I really need a lapel mic. So we'll see how it goes. Anyways, so we're going to kind of talk about how we look for content, how we change it to make it our own. And, and Jennifer can give you kind of, she's better at analogies than I am with like the knock knock joke, and how you can turn something that people have used over and over again into your own and still make it a viral hit. So that's what we're going to kind of go over. And I have some of my stuff picked out because we wanted to talk about how the differences are, right? Like, and what we can do with some of our content that's gone viral. So how are you today? I was just giving an intro before you got here.
Super. No, I'm doing. I feel like I'm less stuffy today, so that's
Yeah.
a bonus.
Did you rest a lot yesterday?
I got more sleep last night, although I was up from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. I don't know why.
Right. Just your brain moving, right?
Yes.
That was me last night. I tried to go to bed we went to bed at like a little before midnight. And as soon as I laid down, man, my legs, I've got like restless legs.
You're just thinking away over there.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So anyways, I went through this morning and I picked out a couple that I kind of want to talk about.
Go for it.
When it comes to my content. Oh, I just hit the microphone. So anything that is relatable, husband and wife, right? So anything or relationship wise, my audience absolutely loves it. They love it. They want to share it. Hey, everybody, thank you for coming in. Welcome. They want to share it. They want to send it to their spouse, their significant other, whatever. So I've been really looking at the marriage and relationship stuff that I've posted. And some of my biggest ones are where there can be some type of conflict, where I can send it to my husband and say, hey guys, thanks for joining us. I can send it to my husband and say, hey, this is you, or hey, this is me. For example, I had one that is going pretty strong on TikTok, and it's, how did you and your husband meet? He burned me at the stake in 1645, and I swore revenge in another life. So that was a hit. People loved it. They sent it. They laughed out loud, tons of engagement, tons of comments. So now I'm looking for other ways to recreate that, right? So my first thing I think of is the hook is, how did you and your husband meet? Right? That's going to bring people in. But it's really hard for me to think of a second part for that because it's very specific.
Yeah, it's very specific. And I was actually trying to think of one myself yesterday. And I like the way you had where, you swore. So in my brain, I immediately go to Hocus Pocus, where they
Yeah. Great.
and they curse them, they curse the town for
Right.
them to come back in 300 years, right?
Right.
So I'm thinking a way you could redo that is in 1624 or 1724, maybe change the year.
Yeah.
Cursed him, I was going to in 300 years in the same kind of way that they do in the movie, because that's like a pop, pop culture type of reference. So you're
That's
hitting,
true. And so it would hit that nostalgia for the audience as well.
and that was one way I was thinking of. Another way is, something along the lines of that marriage,
Yeah.
back and forth of being the nagger, being the cleaner, being, something about what your dynamic is in your relationship. That's a very well-known stereotype.
Yeah.
Like, we know that men and women prefer the men to not help clean, or if there's guests coming over, that's the
Right.
only.
Everybody's cleaning right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. So I think that somehow mixing in that type of a dynamic would help to boost that as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. You knew he would need a cleaner in the future or something to that effect. So I was trying to do the same thing, finding a way to say it, because I love how it performed for you. And I'll be honest, I was going to use that, but I was trying to make it fit into like my situation. So that's the fun about
Making it your own, right? Going
yeah.
back to what I was introducing
Yeah.
in the beginning, right? Is that I have seen lately, I've seen an influx of comments, not on my account, but on accounts that I follow, or on
Yeah.
Threads, another one. I've seen people that are just posting, oh, look at the copycats, right? So yes, are some of the words the same or similar? Sure. But it's all about the video and how the video can tie into the words and tie into you to tie into your audience, right? And it's like a full circle of finding that perfect mesh of all of it. So,
and I think that's the skill that, you get to showcase. Are you capable of understanding how to break down what happened that made that video well, with
right,
all the engagement, all the pieces and the moving parts of it, and how to recreate that, but in a new way to make it feel original. Like I'll go ahead with that, but like the knock knock joke, that was not someone's original today.
right,
Like, that was made up years ago. Nobody knows who started that, but since the knock knock joke started, the 90% of that joke is done for you. There's 5 lines to that joke, right? It's a knock knock, who's there, blah, 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 blah. Funny, right? So understanding that concept and then putting in your 10% to the 90% that's already been done for you, that's the same thing as finding content that is already done so well.
yeah,
The subject matter is great. The audio is great. The video behind it, the visual, all of those pieces are already done. You're just inserting 10% of you into that piece to make it yours. And that's the part that, once I understood that and that clicked so well, you can say a knock knock joke and you can say a your mama joke. They're 2 different kinds of jokes, but they're also, they can be original for you if
right,
you just replace the 10% of the piece of that joke. And same thing with the content. So that's the current structure behind how we're making our content, which I'm finding a lot more relaxing for me,
yeah,
because I am not so stressed about finding information about how to make money online anymore.
right,
I'm simply trying to find ways to relate to my audience, the group of people that are my
right,
tribe that are out there. And that's the thing too, is to cast the wide net, because you are not someone's cup of tea. You are not everyone's cup of tea. You are
right.
just a person's cup, right? So they will find you when when your content is reaching them. So that's something interesting too. And I think right now, like you said, the marriage humor is working the
Right.
best. Like, that is that a lot of people relate with. And I like your strategy where you'll throw Charlie into a lot of it.
He doesn't mind though. And luckily we have that relationship where we could joke about it, and not everybody is like that, and I
Yeah.
get that, I understand that. But he's a participant, and he's a willing participant most of the time. Most of the time.
I think that's, once you understand in your content, instead of just throwing spaghetti at the
Yeah.
wall, trying to do anything just to see what sticks, once you discover a piece of content or a style of a video that you made that, everybody thinks is amazing, that is your one, golden buzzer video
Right.
that you can always make over and over again.
Right.
different kinds of ways to make it feel fresh and new every single time. And that discovering that is a huge benefit for your content as a creator, as marketers. You know, this is something that I've discovered, and I'm enjoying doing those kinds
Yeah.
of content pieces. It's like I said, more relatable now.
It's more
I just post,
fun.
and they're more fun.
Yeah.
They're way more fun because it's the everyday,
Yeah.
right? It's the everyday mundane. You're not having to do, unless you like them, silly, goofy, off the wall dances or epic cinematic screenshots of, you know, what you're doing in your day to day.
Right.
And I think that's what scares a lot too. A lot of people that get started and then they just kind of give up. Well, I can't do that. So if you see that, how can you do it for you? If you like
Right.
to do it, what can you do to manipulate that kind of style into your life? How can you fit it in? And I think that's, again, that's a mental thing. You just got to kind of work through that thought process of, instead of, hell no, I'm not going to try this, what can I do to try this?
Yeah.
You change the phrasing of your question instead of running for fear. And the bringing it up about reworking the content, that is one of the best skills I feel like we've learned
Oh,
so far.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Is being able to look at original videos that get thousands of shares,
Right.
thousands of shares. We can look at an original video.
Yeah.
We can look at why, because of the video, because of the text on the screen, because of the music. We know why it gets a lot of views most of the time. I mean, it's not always 100%,
Yeah.
but like, it's pretty, like, we are able to look at things now where we weren't in the beginning and really analyze it, having the skills to be able to say, okay, this is why this flopped and this is how I can do it better, right? And I don't look at it as copying, right? I had somebody copy my one of my TikToks. I had a girl copy me, and TikTok like tagged me in it. Cool. So I went out there and I commented and I was like, great job. Like, I don't care. That doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Like, if you're using me, if you're scamming people, if you're using my video and saying it's you, that's one thing. That is copying, right? But if you had such a creative vision that it inspired me to turn it into my own, right? That's not copying. I feel like that's being able to have that skill and utilize it in a way that can essentially make you money in long run.
And to point that out, and if in an even greater mindset or aspect is too, if you ever watched Home Improvement in the 90s with Tim Allen, he did the same concept, Home Improvement, as he did for his latest show, whatever, I can't think of the name right now.
Yeah. Oh gosh. I like that show too. Last Man Standing.
Yes, Last Man Standing. So it's the same concept, right? It's Friends, it's Big Bang Theory. The idea is that one concept worked very well in Hollywood, right? And so they took that idea and they just morphed it into, how can we make it a little different from what we found originally? And that's where, again, that's the skill that it takes to know how to do that. You knew that, you know, a husband, wife, and 3 children was a very good dynamic in a show.
Right.
So now you knew, okay, it's 3 boys. Well, let's change it to 3 girls.
Right.
And
switch it up a little bit. Okay, let's not make his job home improvement. Let's make his job a sports store.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the best analogy that I have found so far that helps me understand that I'm not copying content. I'm simply taking the inspiration from a piece that did very well, and I'm seeing what I can do to make it even better or in the same field.
Right. And if I'm using something, if I find something that I find inspiring and I think it's funny and I use it and I don't like, it's not a common one, I will tag the creator in it and say, thank you so much. This was hilarious. And the times that I have done that, they have been wonderful.
Yeah.
Like, they've been so nice about it. Like, oh, thank you so much, you know, blah, blah, whatever. So, and that's what I did with the girl on TikTok. I was like, this is great. You know, this is hilarious. Thank you.
And I think, is Instagram even rewarding people for doing that, you know, doing the shout out to the original creators? So on social media platforms, depending on what you're choosing too, you could even get the reward for saying this is credit too.
Yeah.
And you can tag it in your video. And I think that's what will stop or maybe help kind of not undermine, kind of just stop the whole idea of, well, everything is just a copycat of the other. If you're giving the credit as the inspiration to the original person, then that might help you feel better. Your audience may trust you a lot more if you're saying this is not my original thought. It goes from here, and give this person a shout out if you really enjoyed that piece. I was inspired of it as well.
Right.
So that's just another piece to building your online business.
Yep.
Is you are showing your collaboration. Yeah,
collaboration happens at the top and competition happens at the bottom. I am a strong believer of that. That's my military mindset. Like that, seriously. The growing up, right? I'm 43 years old. When I was younger, I tried to knock people off that ladder, and I tried to knock people off that ladder so that I could climb up faster than them. And you just get to a certain point in your life when you're like, okay, listen, if we all just like move up this ladder quickly, we'll all get there. So that's your mindset shifts to like, I'm not competing with anybody but myself, number one. All the time. And collaboration helps because it shows that you're willing to put yourself out there, to meet new people, to network, to be social on social media. Like, wow, what a concept.
That's what it is. Not be your neighbor.
What a concept. Welcome everybody that's just joining us, speaking of being social on social media. But anyways, I've seen it, I want to say multiple times just in the last maybe week or so of people saying, not to me, but like, oh, that was copied. Oh, you copied that. People showing screenshots of a thread that they posted and then somebody copied it and somebody copied it and somebody copied it. Well, how the hell do you know where the original started?
Well, yeah.
How do you know where the original started? Unless you sat down your notebook with zero inspiration and started from scratch writing quotes. You got it from somewhere. Everything inspires everything around you.
Yeah.
So
yes,
it on one hand, I get it. There are scammers. There are complete copycats, like to the T. To the T.
You just have cat on Facebook.
Well, yeah, that's a scammer. I posted about that today too. Like, my only account. I need to get my blue check on Facebook, but apparently, like, who? What? Anyways, it's I lost my train there. But yeah, it's not about copying people. No. It's about using the video that they created, that they were inspired to create, and using it as your own to create your own content. You're inspired by that to create your own.
And one point I'd like to make too, when you are looking, and this is the part about market research that I personally struggled with for forever, now that I've heard it explained best, going to Google and asking Google exactly that phrasing. So if you find a reel that you really like and you read the words on the screen and you think those words are really great, plug that into Google. Ask Google, memes about, and then just put in that entire phrase and see what Google brings up for you. It has AI now. I don't know if you got the update on Google or Chrome, but now all
I think
responses come through AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's one way to kind of give yourself permission to use a piece that you find if you see that it's done in variation.
Right.
If you're finding it and it's not just the one piece that you see on that one reel, and you see that there are many, many ways that it has been said, then you know that that's a good piece of content. It's something that's trending. It's something that's usable and reusable over and over again, and you can implement your and make it new to you.
Look for the first part of the knock knock joke.
Yeah.
Right? Your hook. And then the second part of the knock knock joke is yours. Like, that's your creation.
Yes. Exactly.
So,
like that.
sometimes it's not easy.
It's
Sometimes
not.
you have to use the same words, but your video has to be different
Yeah.
in a way that matches the words better than the other, or, you know, or different, or in your way, not better, but like in your way has to match those words. So we may have the exact same words, you and I, but our videos are going to be vastly different because we have different accounts. We have different audiences and we speak to them.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone that's just joining. So like, we have to be able to find the first part of the knock knock joke in the hook, right? So that's the how'd you and your husband meet, or how'd you meet your husband, right? That's your hook. And then you find the second part of it. Well, he burned me at the stake, or he was a dragon and I was a dragon rider, or I don't know. Think of something and make your own. Hi, that's my husband. Hello, you're here. Go follow Gardening with Charlie if you need any tips on gardening, because he is amazing.
Propagating. He is awesome at explaining what propagation is.
Yeah. Anyway, back to it. And did you have anything that you particularly like this week picked out and saw like, oh, this is my knock knock joke, right? Hook.
The one that I'm currently looking at to remake is the it's the woman who is married and her husband is not talking to her because he's mad. So she took her version and she's walking around the house and putting away his shoes, putting the TV remote by the TV, putting the car key in the drawer with the other house keys,
right.
like a way,
by the way,
to make him talk to her again.
Yeah.
And that's the joke. That's the humor in that relationship kind of content that you could remake. Now, you don't have to take a video of yourself walking around and putting away all these things. Like what I tried to do is I took the words that she had on the video and I put that in one box of content, one box of subject matter. I altered it a little bit and it's actually performed very well. I've gotten comments, I've gotten really good engagement, and I feel like that's the kind of thing that if you see that from somebody else and you're able to take the pieces that you relate to and make it, you don't have to be the dancer in the video anymore. You can just do your drinking cup of coffee and have the words above your head. It's in how you try to just rework. And so I want to remake that one again. And, you know, this time I might go and do a version where I am walking around my house and putting away something, you know, hiding the laundry basket, hiding his underwear, you know, something funnier if I want to add more humor to it. That's the part where you can start to put in, you know, a little twist, changing one or two words. But the thing too is to remember not to be so specific when you do the change. You want to still stick with the stereotypic idea if you're a lifestyle account.
Right. And the hook. That's why you have to know the first part of the, you got to know the knock knock, who's there.
Yes.
Like, you got to know the first part of the knock knock joke. You got to find that hook in the content that you like. Right. So, and for yours, what is the text? Let's talk about it real quick. What is the text again?
Oh, that I had reused. It's my husband isn't talking to me right now, so I put away his TV remote, his car key, and his shoes in the right places.
My husband isn't. That's the hook.
One word, one word different.
Husband isn't, and you could say talking to me. You can say listening. You can say sleeping. You could say whatever. Insert your word.
Yeah.
Totally. There you go, right? And then, yeah.
Okay.
Why is it not working?
It sounds glitchy.
Oh, he said it sounds glitchy when I'm talking.
You had a little bit of the spinning circle on the screen, so like connection there, but it came right back.
Probably because I keep hitting my lapel mic that I had to have.
It might be that. I'm not hearing any feedback or anything funny. I mean, cool. I am now.
Okay, cool. Anyways, but that's it right there, right? It's just like mine was how did you and your husband meet, or how did you guys meet, or whatever. I have a guest.
You love it there.
So, but yeah, that's the first part, right? And then you just make it your own. Boom.
Yep. And I love that part. That's what makes it exciting, to understand that I can find that content and then redo it in the way that works in my way. So that was a big, epiphany moment for me. And then also kind of giving myself that permission that I needed to say it's okay to use this other piece of content, because I'm not copying it word for word, video for video, sound for sound. I'm not even using the same audios as some of the subject matter that I'm finding. I'm trying to stick with something, because I'm trying to relate to my demographic. I'm trying to stick with audios that are like a blaring reminder of their past, just a nostalgic feeling.
Something that brings that back in your head, or a song or whatever, right?
Exactly. So, and that's another thing too, is it doesn't always have to be a trending audio to go with a trending video. There's ways to change up everything in a video, in a reel, when you are trying to create content that reaches, the masses.
Yeah. And that's the funnest part for me now, I think, is the videos and the editing, right? I'm really starting to get into enjoying trying to figure out new ways to edit and different to make, and where people stop watching and why, and why some filters are better than others. So like I'm excited that I'm at that point now where I can start looking at the things that I wanted to do in the beginning, but it was like far too advanced for me to even consider doing. So that is exciting for me and fun. Like that is fun for me. That's not, oh God, I have to come in here and work.
Exactly. That was the feeling I was getting, where I felt like I'm just not enjoying doing this work that nobody is trying to look at. Yeah. So either improve how I do the work, or expect everyone to come at me, with the same kind of crap basically that I was putting out, because it was crap.
Right.
If I'm not getting the views and the engagement, it's because I myself am not doing something that they want. And that's the part about social media, is that most people come to social media to do that mindless scrolling.
Yeah.
If you're there and you're not performing well, you're boring as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, boring. Let's just not
what it is. It's not the algorithm, it's not the viewers, it's you in your video. And I've had to come to terms with that thought.
Oh, me too, honey. Like I've been the one looking in the mirror, like, why aren't they talking? Why is nobody liking you? Why is nobody following you?
Yeah, 100%.
It's because I wasn't in my element. I wasn't doing what I wanted to do.
It shows through the screen.
I'm so comfortable and happy in my content now, and it shows because my followers are continuing to grow. People are continuing to join the community that I'm building, right? Yeah. So that's exciting.
And then
that's fun for me.
Once you reach that point of understanding that's when the trust is built inside the community of people that you've been talking to for X amount of time.
Yeah.
And you start sprinkling in the business side of why you're there. The business side of why you built the community. And then eventually the income will start to come in, because people will trust you enough to buy from you. People don't like a salesman.
Right.
And that's what most people start out.
And it's not buy a course, buy a course, buy a course, buy a course. Like it's not, courses are great. Yeah. Do not get it twisted. I have purchased numerous courses. I would do it again in a heartbeat, because it got me where I needed to be faster. Yeah. I am 43 years old. I don't have time for the research and the bullshit. So courses are great. But if you literally only know how to sell a course, you're not a marketer. You're not a digital marketer. You're selling a course. Sorry. You're selling a course. Period.
Right. Exactly. I agree with that. And I'm thankful for everything that I have purchased for my own self, to learn and expand my own knowledge of how to do these skills that I now know today that I didn't know in 2022. Right. So I am more proud of myself for having made the leap to make a purchase of something that taught me a skill that I can go out and use in whatever way I need to make my own income.
Absolutely. That's the best part.
Yeah.
I don't have to tell anybody about the courses I've taken. I don't have to tell anybody anything. I don't have to push a course on anybody because I have the skills. I am making money in other ways.
Yeah.
So I have 7 other streams of passive income on the internet that have nothing to do with selling a course.
Yeah.
Like, that is skills. That is digital marketing. So like, yes, the courses are great. Yes, I can recommend a few of them if you want. I will give you the honest truth. If I haven't done it, I'm not going to tell you about it because I haven't done it. But some of them are better than others. But that's not why I'm here. I'm here to build a community. I'm here to help people in whichever way they choose to be helped, right? And on this account, it is through laughter, it is through sarcasm, and a little bit of fucking profanity, right? So, like, that's just, I feel like there's so much, and thankfully, I don't see it as much anymore. But there's so many people like, oh, I make this money. Oh, buy my course. Oh, I'm creating a course. Cool.
Starting to taper.
Like,
and it's not only, that they're not doing it, like the FTC simply won't stand it anymore because that's just completely, taking advantage of a consumer who wants to spend their money and they think they're getting one thing and getting something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a legality that we can't just continue to do income claim content either as marketers. Right. And to be honest with you, I've never seen any kind of a Coca-Cola or a Pepsi commercial where they go and show their flow chart of their earnings for the revenue for the year. Like, I've never seen that. If you have, let me know, because I'm interested in finding that video or that commercial that they paid to post all of their earnings for the year. Yeah, you can go Google it on Forbes.com, fine. But the idea is using the ad to get yourself to be known. That's what your content is on social media. On the back side of it, once they trust your content on the forefront and they believe in who you are, they just might become that loyal customer that you are trying to make them be in any industry, any niche,
right. Anything that you do.
That's the part about it that, a lot of us, unfortunately, when we got started, we feel like we had to be at somebody else's step 49 and we are only on step 0 to 1. And that's the thing, is that you can't compare yourself to what they've already done for a while.
Yeah.
You have to basically go through the shithole that it is of learning all these skills.
Don't compare where you don't compete.
Yes, exactly.
Don't compare where you don't compete. Like, 100%. You can't compare yourself to somebody that's doing gymnastics if you're over here learning ice skating.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't work like that. You can't compare yourself to somebody that's been doing something for 2 years over somebody that's been doing it for 2 months.
Yes.
Like, it's don't compare where you can't compete.
Yes.
Using good and bad ways, by the way.
And that's the thing too. That the views is more of your ego getting its own, gratification points.
Right.
Having good views on a reel, and I had to take this personally for a little bit because my views were so low. I kept thinking it was something with my content. And in reality, there was some fixes I needed to make, true, but the algorithm was also doing something weird on the social media platform that I was using, that I wasn't getting the amount of views that I was hoping for. Yeah. So that's a fine line that you have to walk as well, is that the views are not nearly as important as somebody sending your content, somebody saving your content, giving you a comment, right? Those are the pieces of building your community that should be focused more on. Yeah. The views more for you to say, oh my God, they love me. But that's not the point. The point is to build that community and to be social on social media and to be able to have somebody come into your video and say, oh my God, that was so relatable. Love what you did here. Then you go back and say, oh my God, I'll do some more again because they love what this is. And that'll just bring in more. And that's the part that you really need to focus more on as a newbie. Instead And there's no such thing as 200 view jail on any platform. There is no jail of anything. No. It is, you suck. You need better. It is. You need to learn how. It is a step in the algorithm, though. Don't get that twisted. Right. If you're stuck in 200 jail, it's because you
Your content isn't hitting, right? Your content isn't hitting. And don't forget, there are billions of pieces of content on here.
Yeah.
Like Mosery talks about it all the time. It is it is fierce competition.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not because it's because there's so much of it. There's so much content that they can't even push it all out. Right?
Yeah, right. There's a lot on there. And that makes sense too. Just
Hey,
think of how
Charlie had a comment. You can't focus on the people that hit it big at the start. People get lucky, and that is facts. People get lucky with a viral reel, and then they have no idea what to do with
yeah.
it. Right? That happens. We've seen that. And then they start to sell out. Right? We've also seen that where they just want people's money. They just want people's money. Hey, do what I did and give me your money, pretty much.
And that's
so
that too. So trying to, create this sense of I just want to help everybody, and if I get something in the future, fine, that's amazing. But I think in my personal opinion, I no longer want to work a job. I want to be able to stay home and just work for myself. So I'm learning every skill that I possibly can to make that happen for myself as my own personal improvement. If I manage to help other people do the same thing for themselves, that makes me feel way more proud. And
absolutely.
I know money is what makes the world go round. I'm not going to fight that argument. All I'm saying is, if I become this person that somebody finds and they're like, oh my God, I love what you're doing. Can you please teach me? I'll pay you. I'll be saying, okay, I will take your money for it. But I'm going to tell you everything that I possibly know. I'm not just going to strictly sit here and tell you, you can only listen to me if you do this first. That's not how a business should be
and
run.
I'm not going to try and get you to do the same thing I'm doing.
Exactly.
Like, I want people that want to do stuff that's different.
You need to learn skill to do.
Sorry, there's so many ways to make money online. It's ridiculous.
Like, yeah.
We wouldn't even have time to sit here and just go through a list. Like, seriously, we wouldn't, because the options are out there and they're endless. You just have to kind of dial it in at first and figure out which path you want to go, right? Because that's my ADD brain goes in every which direction. But there's so many of the options and availability out there.
And I think
or using the stuff you're good at to make money from.
Once you discovered how to get that set up and started, your brain just kind of like fires every which way. The neurons start waking up and you're like, holy shit, I can now do this way money. I can now try this to make some money. There's just, the internet has given us a huge gift, and so many people are still so terrified of it. And you should be cautious, because there will be people that will lie to you and try to get your money from you.
Yeah.
But also a way to protect yourself against that, and just simply learning and growing and understanding how to kind of split the hairs and know the differences between what is being pushed in that's not great for you and what is good for you. And just learning all of these skills and knowing that you can make some passive income while you're just sitting at home, that to me is the best news of the year. Like,
yeah, seriously, last night I went out and looked at my Amazon review videos, because I haven't posted any in a few days, and I was doing really well there, where I was posting like 3 or 4 a day. So I kind of slacked on that for a minute, but I was out there looking at the views, and it's just kind of working for itself, the ones that are out there already. So that's kind of cool to look at. And after, especially with me, my struggle with Amazon on-site commission program. So it was so refreshing, and I'm not making $1 million over there, it's just refreshing to see that it's actually working.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is that the internet is 24/7. It never sleeps. So there is zero cap on hours that you put your effort in that you won't get income for. That's the possibility that we're literally trying to help everybody understand that. And the people that really want to understand it, they're going to find us. They're going to find whatever content you're trying to talk about.
Absolutely.
There's this huge thing about sourdough bread, or whatever that is. I don't even know how to make sourdough, but like every other reel, I must have liked something at some point, because so many sourdough videos. Like, I don't understand that. But the thing is the algorithm, the internet, all of this stuff, it will just constantly work for you. So you can post one video and take a day or two, and the video is always going to be there unless that website or whatever is shut down,
Yeah.
which you may or may not have control over.
Yeah.
That's something that will always be going, and you don't have to always be posting a piece of content every single day either. It's suggested to do it simply to build a trust between you and the person you're trying to talk to. But even if you don't post every day, I think that's okay too. And like you just said, your views are still doing really good. It's just a matter of, don't start it and then stop and then come back months later. That's where you kind of screw yourself. But I think it's good that you actually took a day or two, intended or not, to not post every day with those reviews. But I know now you're going to go back and do it more often.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go. Me, I'll put like 20 of them out there one
Right.
time.
You're going to be bored.
Yeah. So Charlie says all the largest companies in the world have affiliate marketing programs. Why aren't more people seeing this? I think it's because why aren't more people seeing this as the future of advertising, right? Marketing and advertising, digital marketing. I say this all the time. It's just advertising. My dad was in advertising and marketing. Like he had an advertising company. Like it's just advertising. What you're advertising is the niche, right? Is the product, is you. So what did I see? Somebody said TikTok shop is the new QVC for our generation, right?
Yeah.
People are making money on there just sharing their experience using products.
That's it.
That's all that it is. That's the same thing here Charlie's talking about, right? Because most big companies have affiliate programs. Why isn't it like I don't know why. I think that it's just generationally, some people are not ready to accept the internet as that place. Yep. Maybe some people are scared. A lot of people don't want to show their face. A lot of people don't want to put themselves out there. A lot of people don't have time. I mean, a lot of people don't have the money to learn. There's a million uses that people can give.
Yeah.
But I think the faster that people understand that this is not going away and that this is the future, like this is why we're teaching our children this. This is why my kids are learning everything that we're doing in the business. Every mistake I make, every win I have, because I want them to know how to do this in the future.
Well, yeah, honestly, we're in just the beginning stages of all of making some money online. People have been doing it for decades. It's now become much easier than what it was decades ago when internet first came around. So this is all just in its infancy, toddler stages still.
Yeah.
And the fact that if you're currently owning a business and you're not understanding why you're not getting more customers, you really need to do marketing, like help learn how to market better, because you don't have to have a college degree to learn how to be a marketer.
Yeah.
You can simply follow some information online that you learn for whatever dollar amount and implement that into what you do for your brick and mortar business. And a lot of those businesses are done because everybody is moving online. Everybody is an Amazon shopper. So I would say it's fear, right? First and foremost, is so many people are so terrified of the internet, they don't even bother to find out. Some people don't understand the processes of how to be an affiliate and get paid.
Yeah.
Some people just think, well, the best way I get paid is to post a Facebook banner as an ad, and I'll just pay money to pay ads. You don't have to do that either.
Or there's to get X amount of followers on TikTok, go live. Or I mean, there's many things that I've heard people say, and I'm like, that's incorrect.
Yes,
that's incorrect.
There's a lot of stigmas that are hard to work through, and I feel now, knowing what I know, you have to reach somebody through the right emotion to get them to make that right choice for themselves. And all you're is helping them through the thought process that it is a possibility and that it can be done. And it's not so much that people don't know, I don't think. I think it's like you kind of knew it, you just didn't understand it, so you kind of ignored it more than you wanted to know it.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big thing too, is that it's just, ignorance is bliss. If you don't know what's happening around you, then it must not be
Right.
happening.
Yeah. Or just people are too tired or scared or
Yeah,
whatever.
I think
Every excuse that we have used and heard other people in our almost 2 years of doing this. So
exactly. I agree with you. But I had a fun time. I am gonna let you go. I've got a little extra work to do, but we'll definitely talk some more about, remaking some of our old stuff because I think
yeah,
that's a good idea. And tomorrow again or no? Or we want to try doing 2 lives next week.
2 lives next week, Tuesday
Okay.
and Thursday. I thought we
Okay.
said,
Yay.
and maybe we should do a like day and an evening maybe,
I
or
would do that.
if
Um,
that's possible. I know for B it's a little bit more difficult because the kids are home. Same for you.
Same thing for me, but
Yeah.
we can definitely try it and see how it goes. If you have anybody, or if anybody has any suggestions on time, definitely message, or drop the comment here before we get off the live. Like what works better for you, morning, midday, or evening to have a live? Because I would also like to try
Yeah.
time around that. But we can definitely start off with a midday like we are, and then an evening, and just see where it goes from there. I'm excited. Yay.
And topics. Like
More
topics.
topics. Good.
Like if anybody that is out there listening, if there's topics you want us to talk about in our Tuesday, Thursday
Yeah.
chats, in our talk Tuesdays, um, if you have topics you want us to discuss, then let us know, leave a comment and then we can come up with a plan to talk about them at the next live.
Love that. Today was awesome. I'm so
Thank
excited.
you. I'm going to go live on TikTok now. I haven't done that in a while.
Try it
So,
out. How it goes.
yes, ma'am. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Have a great day.
Enjoy this Thursday. Bye, Jennifer. All right. That was great. That was fun to talk about kind of how we look at content and talk about, oh, I keep doing that with my hair and the microphone is there. Let's just turn it this way. That was fun talking about content, how we kind of look at different content and why I don't look at it as copying, right? If somebody takes some inspiration from my content, I don't really look at it as copying. I think it's just them using it as inspiration. Now, if they take my entire video and say it's them, that's another story. So anyways, I hope that everybody has a lovely Thursday and make sure you join us again next week.